sleepwalking an actual thing to be concerned about? According to recent studies and research, the answer is yes, possibly. Sleepwalking may seem like just a simple abnormality that occurs during the night hours, but there's actually science behind why it occurs and how it reflects a person's lifestyle and choices. Sleepwalking comes along with many causes and effects, but also an abundant amount of treatments and ways of prevention. To start, let's look at what defines sleepwalking. Sleepwalking is a disorder that is also known as somnambulism. It is a type of parasomnia, and the term parasomnia refers to all of the abnormal things that can happen to people while they sleep. Sleepwalking involves getting up, walking around, performing behaviors, and other undesired events while in the state of sleep. Because sleepwalking includes many different abnormal behaviors, it can be difficult to determine what is the main cause of the disorder. Some of the causes include sleep deprivation, stress, fever and or other illnesses, sleep schedule disruptions such as travel or sleep interruptions, sleep disordered breathing such as obstructive sleep apnea, taking certain medications such as hypnotics, sedatives, or certain medications used for psychiatric disorders, substance abuse such as alcohol, restless leg syndrome, which is a condition that causes an uncontrollable urge to move your legs, brain injury including encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain. There are also numerous symptoms and effects that go along with sleepwalking. So what might a sleepwalker do? They might get out of bed and walk around. They may sit up in bed and open their eyes. They may have a glazed, glassy-eyed expression. They don't respond or communicate with others. They will be difficult to wake up during an episode. They may be confused for a short time after awakening. They won't remember the episode in the morning. They might have sleep terrors in addition to sleepwalking. They may do routine activities like eating, getting dressed, or talking. They may leave the house. They may become injured by, for example, falling downstairs. They may become violent. And Mayo Clinic states that prolonged sleep disruption can lead to excessive daytime sleepiness and possible school or behavior issues. Sleepwalking might also cause other conditions such as sleep apnea, bedwetting, which is urenesis, and night terrors. And they may injure someone nearby or disrupt their sleep, and kids may feel anxious about staying at other people's houses or going on trips because they worry about sleepwalking. When it comes to receiving treatment, most success at prevention comes from simple lifestyle changes. Some treatment and prevention methods include going to bed at a consistent time every night, relaxing before bed, keeping your room at a constant temperature that's not too hot or cold, medicines like sedative hypnotics or antidepressants, getting a good night's sleep is a helpful way also. Other prevention methods can be managing stress or having daily exercise. A good way to manage sleepwalking is to create a safe sleeping space. This can be by removing sharp or harmful objects from a room or to lock doors and windows. Sleepwalking is easy to diagnose, but sleep deprivation is usually the cause. So doctors can run tests or physical examinations to find out why someone is sleep deprived. Prevention methods can be even more helpful when certain factors of sleepwalking are known. For example, the age of the person with a family history of sleepwalking. So some facts and statistics include that genetics may increase the risk of being a sleepwalker. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, it's more common if you have one parent who has a history of sleepwalking, and much more common if both parents have a history of the disorder. About 30% of sleepwalkers have family members who also sleepwalk. Age is another factor of sleepwalking. Sleepwalking occurs more often in children than adults, and happening in adulthood is more likely related to other underlying conditions. Nearly a third of American adults have sleepwalked at least once in their lives. About 3.6% of adults, about 8.5 million Americans sleepwalk at least once a year, according to a new study by researchers at Stanford University. Around 1% of preschool children and 2% of school-age children sleepwalk at least a few nights a week. In 2010, a study showed that 1.6% of people have violently behaved in their sleep. The condition of sleepwalking in the general population is estimated to be between 1% and 15%. According to Columbia University Irving Medical Center, there are two types of sleepwalking. Deep sleep, sleepwalking. This is the most common type and occurs while you are engaged in deep sleep. People usually have no memory of this type. And then there's light sleep, sleepwalking. And this is in more rare instances, and people sleepwalk in the lighter sleep stages, and they may be partially awake during the episode. Sleepwalking usually occurs early in the night, often 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep. It's unlikely to occur during naps, but can happen. An episode generally lasts several minutes, but can last longer. And then in this graph, and it shows the typical 8-hour sleep cycle. And you can see that a typical occurrence of sleepwalking occurs around 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep, and also in the deeper sleep stages. In conclusion, sleepwalking is a disorder that comes along with many causes, effects, treatments, and underlying factors, but it is not something to be too concerned about unless it greatly affects a person's normal daily functioning. Getting up, walking around, performing behaviors, and other undesired events while in the state of sleep is known as sleepwalking. Although it's not a life-threatening disorder, it can be disruptive to the body's ability to function during the day. Luckily, small choices and lifestyle changes can make the biggest difference in preventing this type of parasomnia to occur.